In a dramatic escalation of tensions in the Middle East, President Donald Trump has issued a stark warning to Iran amid the intensifying conflict between Israel and Iran. As hostilities surge, the world watches with mounting concern over the potential for a broader regional war. The current conflict ignited after Israel launched a series of precision airstrikes targeting Iranian nuclear facilities and key military installations. In retaliation, Iran fired a barrage of missiles at Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, resulting in significant damage and numerous civilian casualties. The cycle of strikes and counterstrikes has continued for several days, with no apparent path toward de-escalation. Speaking at a high-profile press conference, President Trump made it clear that while the United States did not participate in Israel's initial strikes, any direct Iranian aggression toward U.S. personnel or assets would trigger an overwhelming response. He warned that any attack on American interests would be met with, in his words, full strength and might, promising retaliation at levels never seen before. Trump underscored that the United States is not seeking war but will act decisively if provoked. He also referenced his earlier ultimatum to Iran, a 60-day window to reach a new nuclear agreement, which has now lapsed without progress. According to Trump, Iran may have a second chance to negotiate, but the window for diplomacy is rapidly closing. Global reactions have been swift. European leaders, including France's Emmanuel Macron and Germany's Olaf Scholz, have called for restraint and urged all parties to return to the negotiating table. Meanwhile, the United Nations has issued urgent appeals for an immediate ceasefire, warning of catastrophic humanitarian consequences if the conflict continues to escalate. Iranian officials responded sharply to Trump's statements, declaring that any U.S. intervention would be met with all-out war. Tehran accused Washington of backing Israeli aggression and vowed to defend its sovereignty at all costs. On the ground, the situation remains volatile. Israeli defense forces remain on high alert, while Iranian missile units have been placed on standby. Regional players, including Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, are closely monitoring developments, wary of being drawn into a wider conflict. Amid these tensions, diplomatic backchannels are reportedly active, with international mediators working tirelessly to prevent a further spiral into war. However, the path to peace remains uncertain, and the world is bracing for what could come next. The coming days will be critical. Will diplomacy prevail, or are we on the brink of a new, devastating chapter in Middle Eastern conflict? Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest global news.